Greetings, and welcome to another video from odooclass.com. In this video, we're going to look at a common requirement in administering an Odoo installation, and that's installing uh, modules, custom modules, applications, and so forth from Odoo's either add-on store or uh, add-ons that you might get or obtain. That could include themes, like the clean theme and other themes. So installing applications, installing modules in Odoo, um, most likely if you've looked at the developer videos, you've probably been able to figure this out. But for people who are maybe kind of not developers, but yet they want to be able to install applications and modules and take advantage of all the applications that are available on Odoo's App Store, um, that this is kind of a useful video for them. So, or like an IT integrator, someone who wants to try out different modules and different applications to see which ones might work to solve a certain solution. So, being able to, install and uninstall applications and modules, that's important. There's a lot of ways to do it. I'm going to show you one way, and then if there are any questions or any subscribers that would suggest alternative ways, then I'd definitely like your feedback on the different ways to install Odoo modules. But this is right here a standard Odoo installation we got running. I have a terminal window open here just so that we can have access to uh, the file structures and the things that we're going to need to get our applications and our modules downloaded. And then of course I have another terminal running that actually has the instance of this Odoo that's running in the background. So this is Odoo 8 install add-on video. So as right now I just have a blank database. Let's go ahead and install something so that we have just a standard Odoo installation to work from. And just so you can see what's going on here, you'll see that this application is being installed. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking for our own application that we might install, and as an example. And to do this, as this is installing, it's going to bring up a dialog here, of course, asking us for our chart of accounts and some of the basics for an Odoo install. Let's go here real quick and open up the browser here and go to apps.odoo.com. So this is where if you want to get some practice using Odoo's App Store, but not like in the built-in way where you'd use their Enterprise Edition, but your own server that you're running and you want to test out different apps, install them and see. Now, obviously we have these paid apps that we could download and install, but let's just go ahead and obviously for our example we're gonna switch to free, and we're also gonna go up here and in our series change this to 8. So this gets us all of the Odoo 8 apps that are free, and that means that we're gonna have a reasonably good chance that they will install and do what's asked for. Um, and so one of the ones, let me type in technical settings. And so this is one I've been talking about, and I don't see that showing up here. It looks like it is not in search, but I thought that there was a free Odoo app that would allow you to basically set the user settings that always the administrator would always have technical settings. Now you can see that this is a little frustrating right here using their app. As soon as I typed in that search, um, you'll see that it's kind of remembering it so that when we click on things it's limiting it, and it almost looks like we're gonna have to go up here and delete it out of the URL. So that's just something with Odoo's implementation here of what I assume is the shopping cart It's basically this is a derivative of the shopping cart uh, framework that they got their e-commerce module. All right, so let's though go through here, and a lot of these certified apps, we've already got them. So you'll notice we will just take a moment here to see that there's some you know um, duplication, like this warehouse management. You're also going to have that warehouse management. You can see it here in the background as I just take the default there, but you'll see this warehouse management is already part of our local app. So some of these apps on these app stores are in fact built-in modules. So this MRP module that you see that we've had a lot of people download, the sales management module, the one we just installed, these are also included on Odoo's App Store. So just to keep that in mind. And so if we browse through here, the purpose of this is to really show you how to install a custom module and and get it in place without a whole lot of pain. And so let's go ahead and see under here under extra tools. So I'm clicking extra tools and I've got it on free, and then I'm going to go ahead and change it to 8. You'll notice that that immediately eliminates it to a certain list. And if we scroll, let's see here to page 4 or so, at some point we get past the ones that are uh, built-in modules, and one of them, like we could see this logging in database from Smile, and you'll see here that we can download it here for the 8.0 series, and it says in your code import logger equals logger log Smile. So this would be something that we could install, but it's probably going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit harder to demonstrate the value of it. So what we want to do is find just something that's simple, that we can install, that we can quickly show how this might work. So let's look at this one, street name and number. So this says here that this module introduces separate fields for street name and street number, introduces 2 new fields. We keep the street field as a function, return street name and number. So we don't know the specifics of this, but let's just say, as for our example, that we want to try this out. See if it's a module that's going to help us solve a problem. Maybe it's nice to have that number separate for possibly geolocation. So there's some practical reasons why having the street name and number separated out might make a lot of sense. As more and more GPS and routing applications, if you're doing a delivery type service, you might want your data entry people to put this number in a separate field. Regardless, what we're going to do is our goal here is just to see how, if we're interested in this, how we could quickly download and install this. So notice how I can click download for 8.0 series, and it brings me up a save file with a zip just like that. Now that's one way to get it. Now it'd save it, and I could use the interface of Ubuntu. So I'm in Ubuntu, or I'm in Windows, or in Mac. This link is going to let me get a copy of this zip file. And so remember that this is important, that you're going to have this file. You can grab it anywhere, but how you use it and unpack it and install it is what we're really looking at in this video. So I'm going to show you a little trick. Now, of course, I can save this file, and it's going to save it just like it would in any Windows, Ubuntu, Mac interface. I'd have the zip file, and then I could get it to where I need it. And so then there's the moving and copying. We have videos that on boot to boot camp, for example. It'll show you kind of how to move files around. But what we're going to do here is see a little bit just simpler way, possibly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that. Instead I'm going to right click this, and I'm going to say copy link location. So now it doesn't matter how you get that link. You could just write it down. You could paste it in a notepad. You could have it just anywhere you want. But the goal now is to get it into your Ubuntu installation. And again, I'm assuming you're running Ubuntu. Most likely, if you're spending a lot of time with Odoo, you should be pretty comfortable with Odoo installations in Ubuntu. I think other installations and working with other Odoo installations should come after you learn how to really manage an installation in Ubuntu. Um, it's certainly possible to manage ones in Windows in alternative OSs, but Ubuntu is kind of the one with the most resources and the most documentation. Um, and I'm a Windows user myself on the desktop, but when it comes to running Odoo, I usually do a lot of it in Ubuntu. Unless I'm doing, I would say unless I'm doing some debugging where I really like Eclipse as a developer, sometimes that can be just as easy to set up in Windows. But anyway, back on topic of this, you notice I copied that link into the clipboard. So what I should be able to do here is do like a wget, for example, and I can do this anywhere. So if I wanted to, I could say, let's go ahead just so you can see, and I'll say sudo make directory uh, download apps, and I'll say apps. We'll do without the underscore because it's short enough. Download apps, and so now I can change into that directory that I just made, and in this directory, I want to download this partner street number add-on. So I'm just going to do wget, and then I can right click and paste. And if you're in a terminal like Putty, just right clicking will usually paste it in there. And you'll notice it's given me the link to download this. And if I hit enter, it's actually now downloading and retrieving it. And now I got a permission denied, but it's probably because I didn't have the sudo. It's not because I was downloaded. I couldn't download the file, but I should have had a sudo to write into this directory. So that should do it. There it goes. And you'll notice it had a little status bar here that real quickly ended. Only took it a fraction of a second to download this. So that downloaded the app in a zip file into my local directory here. And so now what I would suggest is that now, okay, the question comes is how do I unzip this file. So if I ls in here, you'll see that I have this zip file, and it's actually kind of been when I downloaded it, it misnamed it. You'll notice that it actually put this question mark deps after it. I'm just going to show you how to change that. If I go after here and I just get rid of that at the end, now I'll get a download where at least the zip is named a little bit better. But you'll see, that's not exactly the ideal name that you would want. And so, fortunately, one of the reasons it's kind of nice to have this kind of interface, where you can do some of these campaigns. Let me just show you a little simple thing you can do. Is I can copy this, right, and then I can just say move with an MV and paste this in here, and then now give it whatever name I want. So I'm going to call it partner street number .zip. So I'm going to still, it's still kind of long. I'm just using the name they use for it. And if I hit enter, again, I got to remember to use my sudo here. And now if I list out, you'll see that I got it here all by itself. Now, we want to be able to access this. Notice I'm always using sudo. There's no reason why I should always have to use sudo. I can just do sudo change owner, and I tell it what owner I want to give the name to. So I'm going to say admin user is now going to be the owner of partner street number.zip. And just like that, you'll notice that now if I do an ls-la, I believe it is, I can see that I'm the admin user here is the user of this. Now it's still red, so I still there might have been it might actually be something to do with permissions inside of it or some other permission. So we'll see, but we'll open it no matter what. But we got the zip file where we need it. Now we got to unzip it and actually unzip. So now what I'm going to just do is show you. If you go here to Google and you say Ubuntu unzip zip, and you'll see that right up here at the top we get a how to unzip a zip file from the terminal. And I'm just showing you how to kind of find this stuff yourself. You'll notice that somebody had the right answer here by saying this. And notice it says unzip, the name of the file, and then where we want the destination folder to be. So we're just going to go ahead back to this and try that and just see what it says. So we got unzip, and we can just flip back here. We got the file that we want to unzip, -d in the destination folder. So I can actually kind of see it behind there. I'm going to say unzip. Let me make sure this is still where you can see it too. So unzip. We're going to say the file name is partner street number, and then -d is going to be our destination folder. Let's just go ahead and put it in just the opt directory for now. Actually, let's put it in opt dash download apps. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the sudo on here, just so it'll actually let's try it without the sudo and see what happens. Okay, so permissions without the sudo we couldn't do it. So let's go ahead and do it with the sudo. I thought that we didn't have the permissions the way we needed it on that. But you'll know that now we've inflated them out. And so sudo just says, I'm giving it permissions to unzip this all. And you'll see that our add-on has now been unzipped. And it's sitting in a folder, partner street number, inside our downloaded app. So if I ls this now, you'll see this is in blue. So because we sudoed it, it looks like it's, for whatever reason, it's going to let us in there now. But this is our app, and it's ready basically to kind of move into our Odoo's add-on directory. And so let's go back. So now that we've got the file unzipped, and let's just go in here just so you can see. If I type cd partner street number, you'll see we've got here the files, and you see our. If you're a developer, this all makes sense to you. If you're not a developer, obviously all of this is probably maybe a little bit cryptic, but the most important thing to remember is that we do our wget, we did our unzip, and now we're going to actually move this into our Odoo installation so we can run it. Because right now we just have this sitting in a directory. And I recommend this. Don't just install it and try to unpack it and put it just right into your Odoo installation. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can use add-on paths to perhaps just look at this where it sits at right now, so that we can create our own directory of here's our downloaded apps. We're going to use them when we want to use them in our Odoo installation, but then if we don't want to use them, we can just not launch Odoo with these particular add-ons installed. So in other words, we don't want to clutter up the standard Odoo's add-ons directory. We're going to see how to use add-on path when we launch our Odoo server so that we can reference our add-ons. So here's our Odoo installation that's running right now. And we're going to go ahead and hit Control C to cancel it. And if I do a /open ERP server, if I do a -- help, um, hmm, there it is, a --help. I put a --help. It's really -- are for the attributes, and to get the help, Again, it's just a dash help like that. And so now you'll see there's a lot of options here. There's a ton of them. And I would recommend, if you're real serious about Odoo, take the time to look through this. We have, advanced Odoo install, some other videos that go through these. But what I'm wanting to point out for as far as what we're going to be doing is that we're looking for the add-ons path, and that's this right here. Specify additional paths separated by commas. So this is going to let us specify an additional path to our add-ons directory. And so rather than moving this in and cluttering the existing add-ons directory, so now let's, just so you can see, if I ls to get a list of directories, you'll notice that there's a directory here called add-ons. And so if I type cd add-ons, I'm in our add-ons directory now, and I can list this out. And now these are all the add-ons that are basically standard that come with Odoo. Now you could, if you chose, copy this partner street number into this directory and then just launch Odoo as you normally would. And if you there's really nothing wrong with that. It's just probably not the best long-term practice to get into, because this directory then becomes mixed with the standard Odoo add-ons that you're going to be updating with patches and releases by doing pulls if you're using Git to manage your Odoo installation, and the ones that you're maybe testing out or that you've downloaded. So it's up to you, but I'm going to show you how to do this by specifying this as an optional add-ons path. So as we saw, let's go back here again and do OpenERP, and I can just up arrow to there. That what we want to do is we want to start OpenERP or Odoo, but we want to start it with this add-ons path. So I can actually just kind of grab that much of it, and it says specify additional add-on paths separated by commas. So we might actually need that if depending on how this behaves. But we're going to go ahead down here and do our OpenERP server, and I can now just go here and paste this. It didn't get it, but we know that it's add-ons path like that. And again, you just want to make sure you get the syntax exactly right. It's add-ons path, no uppercases or anything. So we just scroll back down. Add-ons path equals, and now I can just put opt / download apps, right? And let's go ahead and try that and see what happens. Okay, I get a critical error, and it says no module name web, can't find this, can't find that. Okay, why does that happen? And the reason is because and I had said we might need that comma, is I've actually overridden the standard add-ons path. So when I do this, let me take this off, like this, it's actually launching. Notice this right here. It's launching with these standard add-on paths. And when I specify my own add-ons path, it's overriding that. And so what we have to do is we have to then therefore include these add-on paths as part. To do this right, we have to do comma, right? And I know we need these, so we can do it this way. We can copy and then paste it here, right? So it's adding that add-ons path, and I can do a comma and grab this one. This one's a little trickier, but I still can get it. Copy and paste it here. Now I don't know that we need all these. I don't think like we need this one for our particular installation because there's no add-ons in there, but we're still going to grab it anyway, just so you can see how we can make sure that we get everything here. Copy and paste it, and now I'm going to hit enter, and now notice it says this does not appear to be a valid add-on directory. So it looks like that let's go ahead and take that off and try. Okay, now we're running it. So now you'll notice that our UOP downloads is now in this list. So once it started up, it did find it. It's like it kind of included it now what it needed to get this directory. So we did fix our problem. It's loaded everything that we need. If we go here, we should be able to see this thing running, and it's running. Now we still need to go here and edit and turn on our technical features. That's a pretty common requirement. And the reason we're doing this is we need to update our modules list. And that's not in this here. We just have, we didn't have the options we needed. So now you'll notice that this got added, update modules list. So we update our modules list. And now we got to find our module that should now be included. That we should have done everything we need as far as inside Ubuntu or in our configurations there to see our module. So let's type it partner. We'll wait for it here. Partner. And I'm typing in partner because I assume that's going to be in the name. And I knew there might be a lot of them. So we might have to get a little more specific here. Look at how many we got. Oh, and actually, it looks like it's actually going out. We need to go to local modules here. So we'll type partner. Get apps off there. And now there you'll notice it. Street name and number. So this is our module, partner street number. This is the one we just downloaded. It's a local module, so we don't have to be hooked up to Odoo's App Store or anything. We installed this ourselves. So now we can go ahead and click install. Now what we might want to do before we do this, let's see what we're going to see what it does. Let's see what it does here. It says it's going to split street name and number. This module includes separate fields for street name and street number. So let's go, and so we know this is going to change. We can look in our technical data, the base, and it's going to change basically res.partner is what I would assume. So we're going to go here to customers and just see how it looks now. So here's our street. So what I'm assuming that they're saying that this application is going to do is that this application is going to split this address up for us. So let's go back here to our local modules. We'll type in street. There it is. Let's install it. We didn't get any errors or anything. All came in good. And we can go here and look and see. And it doesn't hurt sometimes to do that, to look through this and see. Okay, here's loading one module, creating or updating database tables. And so it looked like there's no errors. I'm just seeing green here. No warnings, no errors, no anything like that. Go to sales and look at Joe Smith. And we'll hit edit. And there's where it added the number. So now rather than you do South Main here and you'd have them put the number there. So it's a very small module. It doesn't do much. That's why I wanted to make sure that we went in and I showed you what it looked like before we had it. Okay, so now I can, save this. And for most of these modules in this case, and I would expect this one, they will uninstall elegantly. Obviously, you wouldn't do this on a production installation, but I want to show you how to uninstall this module. It's just as simple as hitting uninstall, and it's going to remove that extra field. It'll remove what it had in the view to make it show up. So now if we go back in, it looked like it actually threw our 302 on, so it was kind of nice not to throw away the data. It got rid of the field, and before it did, it basically just stuck this on. I'm not sure how they did that, but that's how you install an add-on in Odoo. We learned how to use the wget command so that you can do it right in a terminal. Makes it real handy to download the zip. We just did a simple unzip to grab the actual file itself, and then expanded it, changed the add-on path, and did the install. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps you if you're trying to install an Odoo modular application.